Hi, Fiona Whitten from Oakville Crafts here, and welcome to another Stampin' and Creating. I am at the moment in the States. I've brought some of my stash with me, but I thought I had more here, but that's obviously not the case, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because it doesn't mean that most of it's in the UK. But anyway, one of the items that I brought with me was this rather spectacular paper, which is called Ready to Ride. Yes, there are flowers on it, but the rest of it is pretty masculine. In fact, I mean, I can think of a few tattoos that have been done with these sorts of flowers and things on, so that is, I guess, masculine. But I thought I'd share with you today. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to make a few cards, but I'm going to cheat. There will be some stamping involved, but not an awful lot. So this is, as I said, the paper that I brought. I don't know if you can probably see with the fact that it's very shiny. There's probably a bit of a not so good area that on the video. I can't get away with from the spots that keep appearing. So we have flowers, we have well, hexagons, but these could be nuts to go on bolts, stars. This one definitely makes my eyes go a bit skew-if. So we have a checkerboard, spanners, and then also some tread marks from tyres. And then on the reverse side, we have, this is pumpkin pie. So we've got, I don't know, you could call it stars, or you could call it sort of, they're not quite squares, but they're not circles either. They're kind of rounded squares, so which gives that pattern. We have a very retro, I guess it's 50s, 60s feel. So we have diners, cactus, motorbikes, all sorts of things like that. So this is great. So you could colour that if you want to, or just leave it as this, and just, if you cut this the right way round, you can get, well, you can certainly get 6 cards out of that. The reverse side of the checkers, we've got biking apparel. So we've got leather jackets, we've got helmets, we've got tool rolls, gloves, spanners, all sorts of things. Reverse of the stars, we have motorbikes. So again, you could just cut this and use it as a focal point, or you could just cut the motorbike out. You'll find the paper in the Mini Catalogue, the January to April, end of April Mini Catalogue. I only got the paper, but there is a stamp set and also some dies that coordinate with this. So you might want to just go take a look at that, if biking and retro is your thing. The reverse of the hexagons, we have these cards that you can cut up, and actually these are some of the things that I'm going to use today. And then on the reverse of the roses, so we've got obviously this is on Route 46, and then other little signs. So we have bend in the road, coffee stop, petrol or gas as they call it over here, railroad. I'm trying to think what else. There's a few here that you won't necessarily know from the UK, but I think most of them actually are pretty self-explanatory. So there's that to play with. So there's lots of choices when it comes to the paper, and of course you do get 2 sheets of each of them. So as I said, I am going to use this paper. So, but I'm also going to pair it with, let's see now, what shall I pair it with? Kind of tempted to pair it with the tread. So you could call it motorbike or car tread. I don't think it really matters one way or the other. And I'm also going to use, because I don't have the coordinating stamp set, I'm just going to use a simple stamp set, which is good for all sorts of occasions. So this is called Charming Sentiments. there are coordinating dies that go with it that will cut out each of these sentiments individually. And I thought I had brought them with me, but I don't think I did, because they're not in the box. So obviously that was something I forgot to bring. Oh, well. Okay, so I have some different coloured paper here. So I've got basic grey, got black, soft suede, pumpkin pie, and very vanilla. So all of those will coordinate with these images. I'm going to keep it, as I said, simple. So I'm just going to cut some base cards to start off with. And I'm going to want a variety. I'm just thinking I need, let's see, I'm going to do this different way. So I'm going to cut this so I can make a landscape card. So this is A4. If you're in, you have letter size paper, cardstock even, then you're going to cut it in half on the short side. And then you're going to score it and fold it in half on the long side. So for Europeans, you're cutting it at 10.5 and then you're scoring it at 14.9 centimetres. So that gives me my base card. And what am I going to do now? I think I'm going to cut this into the appropriate strips. So if you use, and I'm hoping you can see this, maybe I need to put it down a little bit. If you use the groove on your trimmer, you can line up this in the center of the groove, and then you know that you will be cutting it dead straight. You may have to trim it. Oh, I think I'm okay on that one. Wow. Normally I would say you can just cut it, if you want to do it in 3 lots, you would cut it at 4 inches, because it would be 12 by 12. But some of these are landscape and some of them are portraits, so you'll find that they're all slightly different sizes, but that's okay. So I want this particular image here of the diner. I'm just simply going to cut this up, as I said, using the groove. So that's my first image that I want to use. And then I'm going to, now I could, let's see, so we have, this is the basic black. I'm going to put that on there. So you could just leave it like that and put a sentiment on it. I think I'm going to go a little bit further though. I'm going to put some layers on. So what we're going to do, I said I was going to add some of the tread, didn't I? So let's cut a layer for this. So seeing as it's a layer, I want to go 1/2 centimetre shorter and narrower. So I want to cut it at 14.4 by 10. And I'm going that way because I want my tread to go left to right or right to left rather than up and down. So you're not going to see too much of it, but just enough to add some interest. So that's the basis of my first card. Now my second card I think I'm going to do as a standard portrait card. So this time I'm going to take my cardstock, and with it, the long side at the top, I am going to cut it, oops, bit of fluff there, at 14.9. And then I'm going to turn it and score it at 10.5 centimetres. So this will give me a portrait rather than a landscape card. Now which of these do I want to use? So I could again go for cafe. Actually, that's quite nice having it sort of right on the edge there. I could go right on the other side, but that's a little bit different. Oh, what else we've got? We've got a motorbike. Oh, there's another sheet, another bit of sheet somewhere. There it is. So we've also got some flames. We've got a guy on a motorbike, and then we've got a riding helmet, which if you notice, you can actually cut it here on the straight, and then you can cut off the corners and make a tag. That's what that was designed for. And then similarly, this one, you can also cut the corners off that one and make a tag. So now let's see now. I'm going to use, I think, I'm going to use the motorbike, guy on the motorbike. So again, I'm going to line this up so that that vertical line is in the middle of the groove. Cut it that way. I mean, you could, and there's nothing to say that you have to use all of these or 2 of these on a card. You could do 1 per card if you wanted to. It's really up to you. So that's that and that's that. This is where I put it together and decide that actually I don't like it, because I think he's a little bit too big. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with him. Although I could use that piece so you can actually see it now. And I could also put another layer on of, let's see, we've got pumpkin pie. I can add, maybe I'll add some black. So again, because it's a layer, I want to cut it 1/2 centimetre shorter, so I'm cutting this at 14.4 by 10. So that will layer on here. That can go on here like that. And then that's going to go on here. Or take the flame. Oh no, my flames are the right way. So maybe I'll use the flames. Yeah, like that. I like that, the flames. That could mean that they're flame grilling the burgers or whatever. So that's my second card. And then I'll make 1 more. What shall I do this time? I think I'm going to use some basic grey. And again, I'm going to do a standard portrait card. So I cut my card in half, turn it, and then score it in half. Like so. And let's see now. I'm not sure what I would use that for. This would be great for scrapbooking and things, these images as well. So you don't necessarily have to use them for cards. I'm not going to use that one. See what I mean by you can cut the corners off. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to go for the rose. Or we can just simply use the hexagons. Maybe we'll use the hexagons. So I want that to be 10. Just take off a little slither. I love the fact that the trimmer can actually cope with taking just that little slice off. No problem. Doesn't tear the paper or anything. Cuts it perfectly. So there's that layer. Let's put that to one side. Still got that. Still got that one. That one. Let's see, there's more of those, but I'm not going to use them. Then I'm going to put another, excuse me, another layer of the grey on the basic grey. So I've already done 10 by 14.4, so I'm going to go down yet another 0.5 centimetre on the width and on the length. So I'm going to go 9.5 by 13.9. If you're using letter size, actually, you know what, I'm going to go mad. I'm going to take off another 1.5 top, or the side and the bottom. And so long as you remember what you've taken off, you just need to make sure that you've taken it off the top and the side. Don't do all 4 sides because then it'll be even smaller. You just need to do 2 sides, but they need to be adjacent. Oh, I'm never very good with trig. So anyway, so that's going to be that. And then, let's see. Ooh. I think I might just cut this up. Because as I said, you don't need to, so that was, what was that? That should be, oh. I think I went a little bit nuts because that's not the size that I also did, because I took it off 1.5 in the end, didn't I? Or 2 in fact. So we've got 8 by 12.4. So this time I need 7.5 by 11.9. So that's going to lay it on here. So just a little bit of the grey showing. I'm hoping you can see this now. So I put that here. So I've got these layers. And then this one I'm just going to put a simple sentiment on it. I'm not going to worry about adding an image or anything like that. As I said, I'm trying to keep them simple. So these cards, you can just do them with a sentiment stamp set, some paper, some card, your trimmer, and a pair of scissors. And that's all you really need to make these particular cards. You can go nuts if you want to. So for example, this one, you could take your Stampin' blends to it and colour it. You could even do that with this one. You can go mad and colour it even more, but I do actually like that simple image. So I'm going to leave that one as like that one as that, and then this one. So I'm going to add some sentiments to those 3. And then I will need to glue them together. So I also need to do some inner pieces. So I'm just going to cut up some very vanilla just to make 3 inserts for the cards. There's one. So the insert is basically the same size as the first layer on those. So that's going to be 10 by 14.4. And then I have a piece of very vanilla left that I can then simply use to stamp my sentiments. So those are my 3 pieces to go in the middle. And I just need to decide how I am going to decorate them. So I think I'm just going to keep it very simple and use some more of the paper. So what have we got here? We've got the tyres there. So I'm going to cut. What have we got here? Which way do we want the tyres? I want the tyres going that way. And will that fit? Yes, it will, because it's going on a landscape piece, so I will put that there. And then what have we got here? That's not going to be quite big enough, but that's okay because I have plenty more here. So I could put, I want to put some tyres on. So that one's going with that one. Can't use that one because that's the reverse of the hexagons. So I should have some more hexagons here. There we go. That means I'm going to cut up him though, but they're not quite long enough. So you know what, I am just going to do 1.5 centimeters, and then I'm going to just simply go, actually you know what, I'm just going to go 6 inches, just over 15.2, 15.1 centimeters. So that will go on one and that will go on the other. I'm going to keep that as the orange one. No, I will put the tie on that one. I might actually put the orange on that one so it sort of ties in with that. And then I've got a piece to stamp on. Woo! Right, let's see, do a little bit of a tidy up quickly. Don't need my trimmer anymore, don't need any of the other cardstock. So I have, as I said, my sentiments here. And I've got a selection of ink. So I've got basic grey, I have soft suede, I have pumpkin pie, and I also have my Memento Tuxedo black. And then I just need to decide what I want to do by way of sentiments. So I think I'm going to do a happy birthday one to start off with, and I'm going to put that on this one. Now I could stamp it on here, or I could just simply stamp it directly to that panel. And the reason I feel comfortable doing that is because this is a clear photopolymer, oops, let's see, stamp set. I can work out whether or not my wishing you the happiest birthdays will fit on there, and it will. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I hope, against hope, that I do actually have some blocks. Otherwise I'm going to be using my ink pads. Has been done before. Alright, so here we go. Normally I would say to you, actually I'm going to do it. So you want to pick up your stamp. If it's photopolymer, just pick it up with your block from your crafting area. And because it's photopolymer, I would normally say to put a mat or something slightly softer underneath. So I have my Stampin' Pierce mat. It just gives it a little bit of a give. If it's just a normal stamp, which is an outline, so like the wishing you it would be fine just without the mat. But I've got the of, which is like a little banner in the middle there, and want to make sure that that does stamp cleanly. So I'm going to ink up with my Memento black like that. I'm going to stamp that here. Sometimes it can look a little bit like there's not enough on there. You can go back and just add a bit more if you feel that way inclined. I'll give you a quick if you want to, if you've been called away. So I am just going to put that here. So straight down and straight up. And that's that. So that one is going to go on here. Then I have this one, which is just simple. It doesn't have anything on here. So what are we going to go for this time? So you could do a congratulations. How about a wishing you everything wonderful? God. I have used these, believe it or not. Right, so I want this one, the wishing you everything wonderful. So again, I could stamp it on my scrap piece of Faux Vanilla, or I could simply just stamp it on here. But we've already got, so we've got the base card and then 1, 2, 3 layers. So putting a 4th layer on and gluing it on sort of adds the weight and it can make it a bit thicker. You don't necessarily want that if you are mailing the card. So I would suggest for this one, again, we stamp. directly onto it. And you know what, if you stamp it directly on and then decide, you know what, I don't actually like that, then's the time to go and stamp it onto the scrap piece, and you can fussy cut it or you can die cut it, whatever it is your preferred method is. If you don't like cutting and you've got a die cutting machine, you've got a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, then you can use that and simply then add it over the top and no one will know, she says. And how do I know that? Because I've done it quite a few times. I am not a natural stamper. It's taken me years to get where I am on this. So right, so I'm going to use basic grey. Now the photopolymer stamps, in fact the red rubber stamps for all that, sometimes they have a little bit of, I wouldn't say gunk, but there's still some of the stuff from the processing when they were made. So I'm actually going to, whoops, but it doesn't work sticking it on another thing. I'm just going to stamp it in the corner of this scrap piece. And then, as I said, if it works out that it doesn't come on there doesn't go on there very easily, looks a bit odd, then it's easy enough to simply then cut that out and put it over the top. So I could put it in the middle, I just don't think I'm going to aim for. Hopefully that is straight. I can't see from where I am. Yep, that would be okay. So that would go on here. Like that. And you know what, I will actually fussy cut that one out just so that you can see what a difference it makes. And it's up to you how you fussy cut. You can take it close to the letters, you can keep it straight, you can go in and out around each and every one. It really depends on how much time you've got to spend doing it. I like to just try and keep it as simple as possible. So I might go like along the bottom there, I've kept it straight. There's a bit here, I think I'll go wiggly, which means probably you need to go wiggly on the rest of it, but hey. But what I'm going to do first of all is just cut that bit off like so. And the trick, as I've said before, is really just let the scissors do the work. You don't need to keep opening your scissors and moving them. You're better off just sort of moving the paper around like this. I'm going to go straight down on that one. Actually, that I don't like that bit there. It needs to go a bit closer. That bit, I didn't do that bit very well, but hey, so now you can see if you want, so it would, I don't know which I prefer now that I've done both, that or that. That if I was going to post it, this if I was going to give it to someone directly. So you know what, I am actually going to do that. So that's that one and that one. And then last but not least is this one. And again, so we've got our flames, we've got our, there we go. I think I'm going to put it like that. And this one, you could leave it without a sentiment, or again, you could simply stamp something and fussy cut it out. There's not really any area to to stamp directly onto any of the cardstock and things here. So Let's see what we're going to use. You know what, I'm going to leave it as it is. So I'm just simply now quickly gonna glue all of these together and then we are done. And I'm not sure how long I've been talking because I forgot to make a note of what time it was when I started, but hey. Let's get these finished and then you can see what they look like. So I'm just going to use some multi-purpose glue, the white, the Tombow. You don't need tons of it. So that's just going to go on as a layer, like so. This is going on there like that. Was it like that and like that? Yep. So I'm going to glue that one on. Like so. Leave a slight, try and have space top and bottom that is the same. Try. And then this one, whoops, would help to have it the right way round. I'm just simply going to add with some dimensionals. And I don't want mini dimensionals, I want the big ones. Otherwise we'll be here all day. So a few of these. I'm just going to put 5 on. This is not a heavy card. And I'm not adding any other things to this. So nearly. Again, try and get top and bottom to be equal. So that's that one. And I guess I ought to do them inside. As I said, I'm going to keep it up to the orange, the pumpkin pie side. Using paper to decorate the inside of your cards is I don't think it's a cheat. I think you're just making sure that you coordinate everything, because you really don't want to send a naked card. And you don't really want to send a naked envelope either, but hey, sometimes needs must. Oops. So this is going to go inside. Like so. Again, try and get it so that it's central. So that's that card. No sentiment, but that's okay. It doesn't necessarily need one. Right, I'm going to glue this piece directly to that piece of basic grey. Like so. So there'll be a small border around it. I'm going to glue this piece of double-sided paper. Yes, I know it does mean that you don't get to use these 2 images, but you know what? You've got another sheet in the pack, so all is not lost. And some of you may not like to do like these pieces, and you prefer the nuts or the hexagons, whatever you want to call them. So right, that's going to go on here. Just going to use my thumbnail to flatten down that edge because I cut it from the other side. This piece I'm going to put on, but I'm going to use dimensionals on, which means it's going to have to go, certainly in the UK, as a large letter. Not because of the weight, but because of the depth of it. They do it as both in the UK. Been caught out a few times. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the sentiment as well. And put that on. so. So I'm just going to add that over so you can't see it. You guys and I know that it's there, but hey, just need to kind of make sure that you can't see it. So that's that one. I can't remember what I was going to do. You know what, I'm going to do the tyres on this one. Or the tyre tracks, I should say. It's not tyres. That's that. And you can of course just put that directly to the edge of the insert, but I just like to have a little bit of colour showing so people can see that it is something that's extra that's been added. I mean, you can go the whole hog and actually lay it onto different coloured cardstock and then put it in. So that's that. That's number 2 finished. Like so. And then this is the last one. So I've got my sentiment already on there, so I don't need to worry about that because I stamped it in black onto the very vanilla. So this is going to go on here like that. Oops. Well, I need to wiggle it around a bit because it's not gone straight. That's something better. And again, I'm going to put some dimensionals on this because let's face it, who doesn't love putting dimensionals on their card? Just adds that little dimension. Just adds a little interest without going completely over the top. So that's going to go on here. Again, trying to get it the same top and bottom, left and right, but hey, it doesn't always work. And then that's for the inside. And we're going to use the tie tracks again. And you know what, I am going to go right to the edge this time. And I'm going to take it so that the tracks, oh look, couldn't do that again if I tried. Got them matching, well matching, they're kind of exactly in line with the top and bottom of the cardstock. And I've got glue all over my hand, but hey, because I managed to put it on the table. So where are we? So today is, I'm trying to think now, 22nd of February, I think. My watch doesn't tell me the date. So it just means, oh, maybe it's actually, maybe it's the 23rd. Oh, who knows? Sale-A-Bration ends next week, so I just thought I should mention that. And that means the offers, I should say. So at the moment, you spend £45, you can get a free item, £90 and alternatives. And then also, of course, if you love Stampin' Up products so much, then why not think about joining my team, the Acorns, and you can choose £170 worth of product for £99. That's the special offer at the moment. And then if you want to, you can also add in a Mini Cut and Emboss Machine as well. Sorry, I should have done this to start off with, to make so that they are actually lying flat. So that all ends next week. And then the other thing, you can, if you want to, add in your starter kit some exclusive products. So starting on the 1st of March, Stampin' Up are introducing some exclusive online only. When I say online only, you will not find them in a catalogue. You will only find the details online or you can ask me, of course, and I can let you have them. But there is no catalogue that has all the information in. So that starts on the 1st of March, and anybody joining now between now and the 1st of March can actually add it to their starter kit as well. So just thought I should mention it. And then I think that's it. So next week will be another Stampin' and Creating. And again, I will be recording it and it'll be going live at 2:30 on each Wednesday. I will do a proper live. Just haven't worked it out yet because of all the 8-hour time difference. But hey, and I'm just wittering on now. So I'm going to close and say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed these and that you can actually see them. And I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.